Hi, and welcome to The Doctor and the Baker, where it's all about healthy foods that taste great. I'm Dr. Donald DeFabio, I'm the doctor, and this is Biagio Iuliano.
Yep, I'm Biagio Iuliano, Biagio the chef owner of Biagio's in Sterling, New Jersey, and we are here today to present some of a few dishes that the doctor here may recommended.
Well, the first dish, let's talk a little bit about that. The first dish is our makeover dish. As our viewers know, we take one dish every show that a viewer has sent in that they want us to make over, to make healthy. That's going to be the first dish. And then after that, we're going to have our usual two other dishes to complement a full course of meals.
Right.
So our makeover dish is going to be the first dish. So Biagio, what's our makeover dish?
Hannah Marie called in and she wants one of the whole family recipe. It's Escarole and bean soup.
Exactly, and her throwdown was like a throwdown.
Right.
Her throwdown to us was, it's Escarole and beans. It's healthy. We've been eating it our whole life. Well, guess what, Anna Marie? We're going to show you how you can make it even healthier, but still maintain that flavor palette that you've loved for generations in your family. So that's going to be the first dish. After that's what?
After that, we're going to try to make the Paul recipe called in. He likes codfish.
Okay.
So we got some wonderful fresh caught cod. So we're going to toast that out with some chopped up tomatoes and the Mediterranean flavors.
Okay, so cod Mediterranean style is going to be the first
with
one.
With fennels and tomatoes, you know, few seasoning, oreganos, basil.
Now, one of the things I also want to make sure people understand is that you just went shopping today, right?
Exactly.
So these are all things that people can buy in the store locally that they have access
absolutely, locally.
All right, so again, these are things that you can do.
Easy, they find it in the store, wherever they walk into it, they find it, you know. Previously, you know, we soaked our beans. I don't know.
Well, we're going to talk about the beans in a second because there's a third dish.
All right.
Okay, what's the third dish we're going to serve?
That's for you, doctor. That's for me to you, and because I know you like a Zabaione.
That's one of my
so
favorites.
So we're going to do a Zabaione parfait.
Okay.
With some sponge cake and berry.
Okay, and we're going to show how it can be healthy. Zabaione, it's pretty rich, it's pretty sweet, but you're going to be amazed how it can be good for you. The overriding theme in today's show is going to be glycemic index for health, keeping it low, anti-inflammatory. So that's going to be the overlying theme. But let's go back to those beans with the Escarole and beans. Let's start with our first dish.
So let's start.
Now you soak the beans. How come?
We soak the beans to make a little bit tender.
Okay.
And it's faster to cook, but also there is a technical, you know, for healthy. You know, you can boil the beans, right, doctor? That's where you come in play.
See, exactly. So beans have a chemical in them called lectins, which can be toxic to some people. So if you soak the beans, preferably overnight for 8 hours is the best way to do it, discard the water. Then you need to boil them for at least 10 minutes. That will neutralize most of the toxins, okay?
Right.
And we'll talk about the other health benefits of beans, but that's the first place to start. So we had our soaked beans, you soaked them overnight, and then also they maintain their shape when you go to cook them.
Yep, they're nice, you know, they look nice and, you know, firm. And, you know, the beautiful thing is it's faster.
Exactly.
Because you already cooked it previously, so your dish comes much faster.
Well, let's start cooking. Where do we begin?
So we're gonna turn on that pot, and we are just let that heat it up a little bit. You know, previously we used to do the yellow oil, remember?
Yes.
Bring it to heat, but we're trying to avoid that. This way we keep the yellow oil integrity flavor the way it is. We're not heat it up there. So
and also, by not heating it up, it also keeps the nutritional profile. So we get more flavor and we get more nutrition. So that's a great tip, Biagio.
So we're gonna throw in some of the onions. You know, no oil, anything like that.
Nice hot pan. Onions now, start taking notes. Onions are high in a compound called quercetin and rutin, two very good antioxidants. They're also really good for liver and gallbladder health. The sulfites that makes your eyes water is really good to help detoxify the liver. It helps with phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. It's got methionine in there and sulfur. Really good for your liver.
So
we got
we're
some
going
onions.
with a little bit, onions, some of the seasoning, a little bit of sea salt. Sea salt, you know, it's the one that I prefer the best. If you see, you know, the onions start to stick to the pan a little bit, and there's some of the caramelization going. So in that point, we are going to get the beans that we already soaked and boiled.
Now, Anna Marie only used to use cannellini beans.
Cannellini beans. So we're going to use two beans. We're going to use the red beans and the white beans. Why? Because with escarole, it becomes like a team flag, you know, the Italian flag.
There you go.
So it's
Italian Escarole.
It's
But
an
now,
Italian Escarole.
a lot of times people put pancetta or sausage or other fats and saturated fats in there. Correct, Biagio?
Absolutely. A lot of people, they do put that, you know, some of the pork or some, you know, pancetta, prosciutto, whatever. But, you know, we're trying to bring this a little bit healthier. So we're just going to toss that around. See the caramel.
Now,
and
also,
it started going.
for our viewers, research has shown cannellini beans have
Cannellini
decreased.
beans.
Cannellini beans. I'm thinking of my cannoli. What can I sell? That's why he's the chef.
That's another show.
That's another show. That's why he's the chef. But cannellini beans.
Cannellini beans.
Cannellini, okay. Dimmi in Italiano now, okay.
Sì.
Let's go to work. Now, the cannellini beans are actually very good to prevent colon cancer. 4 servings a week in women have been shown to reduce colon cancer.
Really?
So they're also one of the lowest glycemic index beans, which means they get absorbed slowly into your body. They don't cause a big spike in your blood sugar, and that helps decrease inflammation. So they're really, really healthy.
Beautiful. So with that, see, the beans start to go, the onions got a little bit softer, you know, the natural moisture. Now we're gonna get some of the escarole. Again, local supermarkets, you find the escarole. Nothing fancy, just to wash and dry a little bit, and you know, just, but with your hands. Just to crush them, you hear the crunchy, put it in, like that. We don't want to overcook them too much, so now we put over some of the broth. You can use the chicken broth, or you can use just regular water.
Again, that was chicken broth that you
That
got
was a
pre-prepared
chicken
at the
broth that
store?
we prepared at the store, right? Just, you know, to make a little bit faster.
Now, also, I want to thank you for letting us use your store here, Biagio. We're filming on location at Biagio's, so it's a lot of fun, but we do appreciate you letting us come down and film here.
Pleasure so my doctor. Again, we will adjusting with a little bit of seasoning to make it more tastier.
And the sea salt's okay. It's got magnesium, it's got trace minerals, it's got some potassium in it, so that's fine. You know, and again, Anna Marie, by throwing in the red kidney beans, it increases the amount of iron in here. We know beans are healthy. They're a natural source of protein, a meatless source of protein. The red kidney beans have proanthocyanidins. They're really strong in antioxidants. Proanthocyanidins are what makes red wine healthy. You can get them from the red kidney beans. So this is where we were taking your dish. Yes, we took out your sausage, but we put in some more beans. We added lots of greens. Endive and arugula are in the same family, just like chicory. They got a little bitter flavor, also high in magnesium, high in molybdenum, another mineral, but essentially it makes it healthier, and the roughage is great for your intestines.
Wow, Doc, you just schooling me about, you know, the new life, how to eat the beans. So I think I'm gonna eat the beans every day now.
Look, 4 times a week is a good amount.
4 times a week. So
But again, make sure you prepare them properly, otherwise they could become an irritant. But some people don't like beans because of the gas. We're going to talk about how our next dish prevents that from happening. So what do we have going on, Biagio?
see, as we're going, the escarole got softer. And you know, we almost did that. We're just gonna bring a little bit back to boiling a little bit. We want the escarole to be a little crunchier and not too soft. So we almost there. As a matter of fact, a couple more seconds and we're done. So doctor, if you can pass me that.
I can pass the plate. Certain things I can do. Certain things I can do. So we'll plate this up a little bit, and then I guess we got to put a little bit of Parmesan Reggiano cheese over the top.
Yes, yes.
All right, very nice. And again, we added some sea salt. We're getting some salt from the cheese, but that's about it salt-wise. We cut back on the fat because we cooked the onions without the oil or fat. Right. We cut back on the sausage or the meat, which often is found in escarole and beans. And we ramped up the protein. We ramped up the antioxidants with the other kidney beans, and lots of verdura, lots of greens. The escarole is really good for your digestion. It's really healthy. It's got lots of magnesium, lots of trace minerals. We really need to eat more vegetation, and this is a great way to get it into your diet.
And here we go, Doc.
All right, so I guess can I do this part?
Absolutely.
All right, I think I can do this part. Do you hold the...
Ecco qua, un bellissimo zuppa.
Ah! This way, this way.
This way,
This
Doc.
way, this
there
way.
There we go.
My father says it always takes a little bit of
doctor,
cheese. Always takes a little bit of cheese.
That's it. That looks beautiful.
Now, we're going to plate this up. We're going to try a little bit.
And like we said before, we're going to finish with raw
A little drizzle.
olive oil, right? So
Exactly.
we're just going to drizzle a little bit, and
this,
there we go.
And then this olive oil is infused with omega-3 fatty acids, a good antioxidant punch.
Doctor,
Thank you. All right, Anna Marie, for you. Biagio, salute.
Salute, doctor, salute. So how is it, doctor?
Oh, man. That's great.
You like it?
I like it. I like it.
Good.
My mother would be proud. My grandmother would be prouder.
See, we have a little bit Italian flag going on.
Yeah, and the Italian flag. Isn't that perfect? Well, Biagio, another great, excellent course. Let's move on to the fish. We're going to take a short break. I'm going to mangiamo un po', and maybe you can get me a piece of that multi-grain bread to go with this.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be right back.
A healthier you can be a lot easier to achieve than you think. Often the most effective way to improve your health is to make consistent, small, positive changes. According to experts at the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress, it's best to try to balance your diet, emphasizing fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and beans, reducing or eliminating your intake of harmful foods, like sugar, soda, fats, and processed foods. Drink plenty of water, especially in the hot summer months. And remember, a nutritious breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You don't have to run a marathon to shape up. Just do some form of exercise regularly. Aim for 20 to 30 minutes, 3 to 4 times a week. Learn how to stretch properly, walk with supportive shoes, and lift some light weights. Attitude matters too. Staying optimistic can lead to greater success in a goal of a healthier you. Chiropractors are experts on wellness and can offer lifestyle advice. For more tips, visit yes2chiropractic.com.
Welcome back to the show. Biagio, that was a great dish. I wish the people at home could smell the escarole,
right?
and the aroma and how it comes out with the beans and the onions. It's really fantastic. But let's move on to the next dish.
Sure.
Fish Mediterranean.
Right, we have our codfish right over here. Beautiful Alaska codfish. And we're just going to saute quickly with some of the onions. We have cherry tomatoes, fennel. A lot of people, they don't like fennel, but you know, fennel has got a nice flavor. It's a very refreshing and all. We're going to put capers for our salt, which I cut on salt. And you know, we'll finish with herbs. We use basil. And we're going to use oregano, fresh oregano. Why fresh? Because fresh it looks good and it smells better.
And also, it's a little less stringent. It's a little less tight. It doesn't bite as much, correct?
Right. I mean, you know, fresh it's always beautiful.
Yeah.
It always looks pretty, so I think it will be good.
Yeah, no, it tastes good. I mean, you get the essential oils on there, so that always helps. Now, where we begin? We're going to begin the same way with just some heated pan and the onions? We're going to use a little...
No, we are not going to use any of the oil again.
Okay.
We do the same thing that we did before with the escarole, means we're going to dress a little bit with that. So we have our pan going over here, and we are going to toss some of the onions in. So this time...
And again, onions are going to be a staple you're going to see a lot of on the show because of their health benefits. But what you're also going to see is just a lot of vegetation, a lot of vegetables. The average American just doesn't eat enough.
Right, we're going to put some capers inside.
So what are capers? Capers are actually a flower bud of the caper bush. So think about it. If it's a flower bud, where are the nutrients for that flower? In the bud. Very nutrient dense, very high in, again, quercetin and rutin, very strong antioxidants. But they're also brine, correct, Biagio?
Right.
So
people, you know, usually they put it in the brine, you know, to preserve the flavor or not. But I prefer the one that come overseas. They are preserved with salt, a lot of sea salt.
okay.
Then, you know, we soaking, you know, we take all the salt out. And the integrity of the bud, it's a nice crunchier versus to be mush. Because if you put it in a brine, you know.
Exactly, they get mushy. They do, right. Now, what about the small ones, the nonpareil? Is that how you say it? It says I'm saying everything wrong. I might as well say that wrong, too.
No, you said good, doctor. You said
Those
good.
are the small ones?
Those are the small ones.
Versus
yes.
the bigger ones, the
big
campones?
Ones. Campone, exactly.
Why one versus the other?
Well, it depends, you know, where they're from.
Is it a flavor difference?
The flavor depends. Everything that comes from the Mediterranean, it tastes much better.
Yeah, of course.
Unfortunately.
Of course, we say in Italian, ma certo. That means, but of course. You know?
Sì. See, as you go, now the onions start to go a little bit in the pan. So now with that, we needed the extra juice, so we're going to use the tomato. I previously already sliced some of the cherry tomato.
Excellent.
And again, we have another again, the Italian team again. See, Doc?
That's it. It's all Viva
Italian
Italia.
team. Viva Italia.
But we're going to add a whole Mediterranean twist on this one.
Absolutely. So we are going to put the fennel.
Now, fennel is got that anise, that licorice type flavor to it.
Anicetta.
Okay. So it's a little bit of a licorice type of flavor.
And in this case, we use the fennel as our vegetable.
But if we were Greek, we would say it's ouzo, right?
Well, that I don't know, but probably I.
But also, we were talking about the beans before. Those oils in fennel that give it that flavor, those aromatic oils, are very good for digestion and decrease intestinal gas. Right. So having the fennels after we've had our escarole and beans is going to prevent you from getting gas. So it's a nice complement.
So, Doc, we are going to seize the hard codfish.
Now, codfish, why did you pick codfish for this dish?
Well, cod, it's a nice dish, it's a simple dish, and it's not used a lot. But, it's got a lot of nutritional value and all that...
well, you mentioned this was wild caught, which is always great if you can get wild caught. Now, if cod isn't available at their fishmonger...
They can use something else. But, there is some other fish that you probably want to avoid. And which is, Doctor, what kind of fish?
The three knows. Bronzini, tilapia, and farm-raised catfish. Why? Because those three fishes are fed fish food. So you're just eating fish food. Why did Biagio choose a wild-caught fish? Because it's eating plankton. It's eating a vegetation. It's good. It's healthy. It creates those omega-3 fatty acids, which are anti-inflammatory. So that's why it works. But guess what? If it's a farm-raised salmon, that's okay, because they send seawater through those pens. But enough of me. Biagio, what are you doing here? What are you doing?
Oh, we put some of the seasoning inside. We're trying to make it very healthy. So we're trying to use all the juice, I'm changing with the wooden spoon, all the juice in the pan, the caramelization of the onions, the capers, the tomato, as a nourishing source. And we're just going to toss around with some of the wine to create some of the steam. Okay?
Wow.
And we are going to top it off and let it simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. This way, the fish will cook. It will not get burned, usually...
And all the flavors marry.
Yeah, the flavor marries together.
And that was interesting. You put the oregano and the basil in together.
Exactly.
Because one's sweet, one's a little astringent.
Astringent, right. And they probably will marry better with our fennel. This way, we already have a new flavor, which is the fennel. A lot of people, they're not accustomed to that. But so with that, we throw that in.
Good. So we're getting a little bit of everything. But again, it's all about lots of vegetation, lots of greens, lots of vegetables. That's where your antioxidants are. That's where your minerals are. That's where the nutrients are in your diet, calcium, magnesium. So we need to eat more vegetables. Think about it. If you increased your dosage of vegetables to 6 to 7 servings a day, that's going to significantly reduce your risk for disease, because that's where your vitamins and minerals are. You don't have to take a big handful of them every day.
Right.
Okay, what's going on over there?
Look at this, huh?
Wow, beautiful. Oh,
look at
I love the smell.
Oh,
it's,
see it?
And all that, and everything came up, all the caramelization.
See, we're going to toss the fish, and we are poaching the fish.
Yeah.
First to saute the fish, make a crust, with oil nuts. So, we're trying to bring to healthy.
And this is a one-pan dish.
This is one-pan dish.
Everybody
can cook like this,
yeah.
And it's easy to clean up.
No, well, that's great. Now, I'm going to want a little something to go with that.
We're going to put a polenta.
Ah, great.
So again, we are going to put the polenta in the same dish. This way we warm up the polenta. Previously we did the polenta, we formed to a log, normal polenta. The doctor cut them. So we are going to add some of that inside here. This way we'll absorb some of the moisture.
Now, polenta, for our for our viewers that may not be accustomed to it, is cornmeal. Okay, it's yellow grits that's cooked down, and it's made a little bit stiff in a mold. We just roll it up.
We just roll them up to give
them
a nice form.
Why polenta? Because it's a good source of soluble fiber. Corn is an excellent source of B vitamins, and it adds a little bit of sustenance to give you that comfort feel, but still be healthy for you. And corn's not a problem. Corn oil, another show. We're not putting corn oil in any of our foods. Very pro-inflammatory. But corn is okay to eat. So this has to cook for a couple minutes?
Couple more minutes. I think we're done. If you can smell.
Oh, I can smell. That's great. Oh, I can really, the oregano is nice.
See, look.
I like
nice.
that. Beautiful.
See, the fish got firm. See, it's already firm.
And it's
so,
done.
you know, it's best to use, you know, fresh ingredients because, well, you know, they cook quickly and taste better.
You can't go, and that's what it's all about, and that's
it.
your job. So I'm going to grab the plate.
Now we're going to plate it.
We're going to plate this up a little bit, and then we're going to have a taste.
That's it. So we are going to put a half piece polenta on the bottom. In this case for you, doctor, too.
Yeah.
Because you got to eat.
That's it. I'm trying to catch up to Biagio over here.
Well, let's not catch up so soon like me, doctor. You don't want to be like me. But
Hey, of course, everybody wants to be like you. But seriously, as a side note, we'll talk about a little bit as you prepare your dish, because even though he's a baker, Biagio is classically trained as a chef. So we're going to talk about that.
Absolutely. Here we go. A little bit of basil, a little bit of that.
Can't go wrong.
Here we go, Doc. The moment of the truth.
The moment of truth. Well, let's see. We'll bring it over here. We'll taste a little bit of cod Mediterranean. Thank you. Okay, I got to scoop it up this way. Try it again. It's fresh fish, flaky. Oh, very nice. The tomatoes are such a nice little bit of acid that complements the flannel, and the little bit of licorice flavor comes through. And I like the oregano with it. I think that was a good. I think that was a good touch. And the polenta, absorbed the sauce, came right through. I'm a big fan of polenta. Biagio, another success. Mille grazie. Thank you very much. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, he's going to make me my favorite, Zabaione.
Yeah, Zabaione.
Nice. No. Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to the show, and boy, it's been a lot of fun. We had our dish makeover from Anna Marie with escarole and beans, making it healthier for her. And when you want us to make over your favorite dish, send it in. It could be an appetizer, it could be an entree, it could be a soup. Just contact us, let us know, and we'll be happy to do it for you on one of our next shows. So send in that favorite dish of yours, and we'll be happy to make it over so that it's healthy. Now, Biagio, my dish makeover.
This is your dish.
This is mine.
This is your dish. This is
Zabaione. So first of all,
it's a Zabaione.
What is Zabaione? Because people may not know.
Zabaione is just emulsified sugar with some egg yolks and finish some with Marsala wine.
So sugar, egg yolks, and wine.
Yeah, just sound too healthy. But for you, we make a makeover. So we're going to use omega-3 eggs.
Great. Now, omega-3 eggs, remember, omega-3 fatty acids suppress inflammation, so they're anti-inflammatory eggs.
And the sugar, instead to use a natural regular sugar, we use a substitute of sugar, which is
xylitol. And we'll talk about xylitol in a moment, but xylitol basically is a good sugar substitute, and I love it, and it's much healthier than the other ones out there.
And we will finish with some fresh berry. In this case, we have strawberries, and I cut up a piece of sponge, but you can use a little pound cake, Again, if you go to the supermarkets, you can buy any kind of product, sugar-free, or you can come to us, we also have it. Not handy all the time, but we do have it. So we are going to start. We are going to separate some of the eggs. We just needed the yolks. So
we'll save the egg white for something else, high protein, good. Yolks are full of fat, but these are omega-3 eggs. They can be anywhere from 100 milligrams to 300 milligrams of omega-3 per egg yolk, depending on the brand you buy. So that's going to take that fat and make it a healthy fat. But also, I want to remind everybody something we talked about before. Biagio, your training is as a chef.
Yes,